Man, it is good to be back in Nickerson Hall. Basketball season upon us once again here at the University of Indianapolis. And what better way to start than two great teams out of the Midwest. Indianapolis Greyhounds hosting the Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers right here on the GLVC Sports Network. My name, Caden Colbert, alongside Charles Foster, provide commentary for today's matchup. Two very, very different programs coming into today. As we look at the hosting Greyhounds, they're seeing a whole new fresh litter of players. Over 2/3 of this team is full of fresh faces, new pickups, transfers, recruits, you name it. Just 4 returners: Dylan Ingram, Zach Jewell, Kevin Amawako, and Kyron Kaupuiki. Were on the other end, you have Kentucky Wesleyan, who is just good year in, year out. We'll start with UIndy, their starting lineups, and then Kentucky Wesleyan. That's after the national anthem right here on UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network. Can't wait.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Some of the best basketball in the Midwest can be found right here at Nickerson Hall. Two elite teams. Basketball set to square off. Before we get to starting lineups, we're going to go on to Evan Porterfield, our sideline reporter, for a breakdown on what to expect today.
We're back here live at Nickerson Hall for an exciting season opener of the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds versus the Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers. This game kicks off a new era for the Greyhounds with their new coach, Scott Heady, who's returning to UIndy after he graduated in 7 seasons at Marion University. We're excited to see Dylan Ingram and Zach Jewell, who helped secure the Greyhounds with a successful GLVC championship last year. On the other side, we got Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers, who come to the preseason favorite GMAC. They've got a strong returning lineup with players like Kennedy Miles and who's a top leading scorer, and double-digit contributors like Edward Jones and Logan McNair, which add depth to the already favorable team. In the Indianapolis Greyhound game, the Panthers defend the preseason rankings. Let's see who's going to win. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Now is Evan Porterfield, our sideline reporter, as we start with starting lineups for both of these teams, starting with the away Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers. For them, starting at guard, a junior, 6'2", 178 out of Kenton, Ohio, averaging nearly 12 a game, Quentin Tools. Second guard, a fifth-year player, 6'1", 170 out of Burlington, North Carolina, wearing number 2, Kennedy Miles. Third player in this lineup of senior forward, 6'5", 200 pounds from New Orleans, Edward Jones Jr. Your two bigs, number 33, 6'5", 195 from Ramsey, Indiana, Logan McIntyre. And finally, a junior forward, 6'6", 215 from Evansville, Terrence Ringo Jr., which brings us now to the hosting Greyhounds first wearing 0. Senior forward, 6'6", 225 from Chicago, Illinois. Dylan Ingram alongside Noah Kahn, a sophomore guard, 6'1", 190. Out of Houston, one-year returns today, a fifth-year guard, 6'4", 185, Zach Jewell, alongside another guard in the backcourt, senior, 6'3", 190, Brody Whitaker. And finally rounding out this five, wearing 14, a redshirt junior, 6'5", from right here in Indianapolis, Brownsburg High School, the redshirt junior, Pierce Thomas. With those starting lineups set, these squads ready to go. Charles, what did you see in warm-ups from either of these teams?
I mean, we're looking at a Greyhounds team here that, as we talked about earlier, they are very new. They have not played together yet. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they mesh under a new coach. We said it a lot during the women's game. This is a UIndy basketball program that has been completely transformed after losing both of their coaches and most of their teams. It's going to be very interesting to kind of see where they can both go coming into this second game now of the night.
Dylan Ingram will be the man in the circle, looking to take the tip with Terrence Ringo Jr. across from him. Official steps onto the flying eye on the Greyhound logo. Both of these teams ready to go. UIndy in white, Kentucky Wesleyan and purple. Ball is up. Let's do this. Welcome to Greyhound basketball this 2024-25 season. Taken away, Noah Kahn, and we're off. Greyhounds always been known as a hard-nosed team. Under Scott Heady, I doubt that changes much at all. A very defensive focus, he said in his opening press conference, as the Hounds' first offense possession winds up an air ball. That's Brody Whitaker. Brody averaged 19 and some change. He actually came from Marion alongside Coach Heady. And how do you break down this Greyhound team early, Charles?
I mean, as we're looking at it here, there's going to be some new forces to be reckoned with here. Who's going to be the main scorer? Obviously, last year we saw a lot of Jarvis Walker, we saw a lot of Jesse Bingham, we saw a lot of Kendrick Choa. They're gone. So now we're going to be looking at Brody Whitaker, like you said, averaging 19. Levante Harris off the bench, who averages 16 and 8. He's going to be another big name for this team, as well as Noah Kahn running this offense. It's going to be a lot of faces here that are all averaging double digits. It's going to be interesting to see where they can go from here.
Terrence Ringo Jr. on the Kentucky Wesleyan end, breaking the 0-0 tie. And the scoring well in motion. Noah Kahn gets sent back. That time, Kennedy Miles with some words to say, looking down on Kahn after he swatted the ball out of the air. Kentucky Wesleyan, they came to play. One thing that I noticed during warm-ups, Charles, this team can jump out of the gym. We saw it there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this is a very athletic team. And they're just, like we said, that athleticism makes them better defenders. And we just saw it right there with that great block.
Another thing to note for the Greyhounds is they're on defense. Here we see Zach Jewell guarding the ball, penetrating now, going up is Quentin Tolles. He misses. Ringo Jr.'s there. Dylan Ingram tapping it away and bringing it out for the Hounds. Have a shot in the corner. It's Noah Kahn. And that one too strong. But Dylan Ingram, he'll create a second possession for Heady's Hounds. Noah Kahn, another new face. And three ball, up and missed. Another offensive rebound, Zach Jewell. He'll look to get inside. Ball tapped away from him. Kentucky Wesleyan, a 3-on-2 break. A lob pass up for Ringo Jr. Power dribble, pump fake goes up, and that's textbook post work for the big man.
And right there, we were talking earlier about him. He can jump, and he does a fantastic job at causing issues in the paint. He's going to be a pretty big face here, especially with the tallest player on the court right now for the Greyhounds being only 6'6".
Couple turnovers early for the Hounds. Another fast break for Kentucky Wesleyan. They get down the floor. Dylan Ingram, a block off the board. And here come the Hounds. Pulling up in transition. Three ball. Not there. Pierce Thomas off that time. Wesleyan. They'll slow it down. Ball in the hands of McIntyre. McIntyre will fire. And he'll bang out. 7-0 lead early for Wesleyan.
And not a good start for the Greyhounds here. McIntyre, who averaged 10 points a game last season, coming in here with a nice three ball for the Panthers.
Kentucky Wesleyan coming in with all of the energy, talking all their stuff, and they're backing it up. Dylan Ingram, a pump fake. Pass to the left. Noah Kahn penetrates. A spin out to Dylan. Did not have the shot on the block. And the Greyhounds still looking for their opening points. 4 seconds to shoot. Put up. Brody Whitaker gets one to go.
And there goes Brody Whitaker putting up the first points of the Greyhound season. He spent 3 years at Marion with Coach Heady, and now following him to Indy to play his senior season.
It's with Edward Jones Jr. Goes to the post, and Terrence Ringo, who enjoys slight size advantage over Dylan Ingram. Up top, a pump fake, penetrating middle, passing out left side. Quentin Tolles. And they'll lob it up top. 2 seconds to shoot. Have to throw it up. Kennedy Miles will watch it fall out. Noah Kahn. A power dribble to the cup. He got fouled on the ground. Greyhounds will take it out.
And as we're looking at this Greyhounds team here, they're they're getting good shots. They're doing a good job at creating them for themselves. They've just not been hitting so far in these first 4 minutes. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens. Do they change up the scheme, or do they keep on going with what's working?
There's Zool along two when it rattles out. It was a good look again, but the Greyhounds just 1 for 7 to start the contest. And 4 minutes in, score sits at 7-3. Kentucky Wesleyan. First media timeout of this game. We'll be back on the GLVC Sports Network.
Take a timeout with the sounds of Portillo's.
Order number 3, come see me. Order number 3.
Portillo's. It always sounds good.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Back at Nixon Hall, Caden Colford, Charles Foster commentating on a 7-3 ball game about 4 minutes in. This is a lot of people's very first look at Scott Heady as a coach and how he puts a team together. We look at this squad, everybody from the Midwest except one. You have one player from Texas, actually, and that is Noah Kahn. Everybody else, you have a lot of Hoosiers, a lot of Kentucky, and then really this team just being built around the Midwest. Scott Heady, he actually has a father in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, both very renowned high school coaches, very successful at that level. Then Heady moved to Marion. Now he is here at UIndy, coaching at the Division II level in college. Whistle there. Kennedy Miles draws the contact, goes to the line from the mid-range.
And Kennedy Miles, so far, what I've really noticed about his game, watching him in warm-up and watching him here to start off this game, he does a really good job at just shooting it whenever he feels comfortable. I mean, he knows his jump shot, and we've seen it here multiple times where he'll just hold the ball for a few seconds and just be like, I'm going to shoot it, and then he will. And that was a great job there to draw the foul because you don't expect him to pull up on top of you.
Couple checking in for the Greyhounds. Give Deshaun Jackson marking his first minutes in a white and crimson jersey alongside Kelvin Amoako. 6'11", 255 out of Westland, Michigan. He redshirted last season, but watching this guy during practice, a great athlete, and obviously you can see him on the block with great size. Greyhounds have it. Pull-up jumper to Deshaun Jackson, and within 10 seconds, Jackson, a couple points to his name as a Greyhound.
And Jackson, as we talk about here, he played 57 games at the D1 level for EK University. Only 10 games, though, last year. He's done a very good job, and he is now coming into a team where he's going to have an advanced role for the Greyhounds.
Amoako with the contest that time was with Brody Whitaker. Jackson again feeling his shot early, letting it fly.
And I want to add this. I mean, we see this right here. This right here is a 2 points per game scorer at the D1 level. We're already seeing him let it fly as soon as he gets his debut in the D2 level.
And I'm glad you brought that up because you have multiple players such as Jackson that have experience at the Division I level. And while they may have not been superstars, that expertise means so much when you bring it down here to Division II. Whitaker going up, drawing the foul. But what's it mean to have Division I experience on a Division II team?
I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing against the best. You're playing against the D1 level. You're playing against players that are normally going to be better than the competition you're playing here. But on top of that, you were D1 for a reason. And so just because it's like how they say, just because like an NBA player, the worst NBA player is still better than some of the best casual players. I mean, you see it go down to this level. Some of these D1 players come down to the D2 level, and they're so much better than their stats at the D1 level say.
Grant Diskin will check in for the Hounds. His first time on the floor for the University of Indianapolis. Score knotted up 8-8 with Brody Whitaker at the line. An 85% free throw shooter will convert both there as the Greyhounds take the lead.
And speaking of scorer, Grant Diskin, a 1,000-point scorer at the D2 school of St. Leal. He is averaging 13 last season. Coming into this season, once again, his debut for the Greyhounds here.
Kentucky Wesleyan getting to the spot, left elbow, shots up. A lot of contact as Kennedy Miles hit the deck. He goes to the line already for the second time today.
And another thing that we're going to see from Kennedy Miles is his jump shot, he kind of shoots it forward. So his leg always kicks forward, but that is in his natural shooting motion. So that is going to be called a foul every single time. They are not going to get him on that kick out. So as the Greyhounds defender, and you can kind of see Heady telling them that he has a kick in his jump shot, you need to watch out or you're going to foul him every single time.
1 for 3 at this point, looking to improve his percentage from the stripe. He does. Marking 2 for 4 in the contest, 9-9. UIndy and Kentucky Wesleyan. Controlling the ball now for the Hounds, Grant Diskin. He'll initiate the offense to Jackson, and now some weave action up top. Jackson looking to the high post. Pierce Thomas to Whitaker, and Whitaker from that left wing. That's where he likes it. Amoaku, strong board down low. And a foul called on the floor. He went up anyways.
And why not? I mean, get used to making those layups. As we talk here, Kelvin Amoaku, sorry, words are hard. Doing a good job there at making himself known, bringing a presence here, a redshirt freshman making his debut as well. He's going to be a very solid player. He averaged 13 and 10 in high school.
You heard some oohs and ahs. Grant Diskin had his defender touch the floor as the Greyhounds pick up another offensive board. Deshaun Jackson, he's working on an island in the short corner and draws the foul.
And Deshaun Jackson here already making himself known here. Coming off the bench here, he made his first 2 shots, already now at the free throw to take, or now, sorry, getting fouled on the floor. He's doing a good job off the bench, creating something that the Greyhounds really did not have that much last year off the bench.
Here he is at top of the key. Hand off, Diskin using the Amoaku screen, going up. The contact was there, heard the whistle. A chance at the line for the redshirt freshman.
And as we're seeing here, he has a chance to make his first points as a college player. And that's going to be really big for him because I think that he's going to be a very vital piece for this team because this is not a super tall team. I mean, they lost to 7-footer Steinfeld. They lost Kendrick Choa. And now you're looking at this team. He is the tallest at just 6'11", and that's going to make things interesting here because it's not as tall as they were last year.
He goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. Those first college points evade him this time around. 9-9 the score. Here come the Panthers. It's off the key. It's Alex Gray spotting up right wing. Too strong, board collected. Pierce Thomas. How about the quick trigger from Deshaun Jackson? That's his first miss on the day. Bring up Kennedy Miles.
And one of the first things I've seen about Deshaun Jackson is that man has no hesitation. He will shoot the ball if he believes he's open, and that's what I like to see from this team.
Putting it down, Kentucky Wesleyan. Faith Huyuk out of Turkey, 6'9", 230. Make that 6'7", 230 for the redshirt sophomore. Mid-range jumper, we've seen a couple of those from the Greyhounds today. That time, Grant Diskin was off. Kentucky Wesleyan moving very fast. A 50-50 call goes the way of Kentucky Wesleyan as Diskin hit the deck.
And as we're looking here at the Greyhounds, like you said, they are taking a lot of mid-range shots. And that is an interesting formula for a team that is still trying to figure things out. They're taking what's known in basketball as a pretty relatively low percentage shot. And they don't seem to be flowing. They seem to be playing a lot of one-on-one ball. So I want to see them kind of start to show their schemes that I know that they've been working on this season.
Currently 3 for 13, 4 for 10 make that 5 for 11 as they're looking for an extra at the line. Huyuk, he averages about 12 points a contest. Accompany that with 7 rebounds, and you have yourself a very, very solid forward.
Absolutely, and Faith is doing a fantastic job here at winning the matchup. He has been beating Kelvin in the paint, and he's been doing a really good job at just making a presence, especially early on in this game.
He'll get the shooter's roll, put his team up by 5. Noah Kahn. Now with Jackson. Dylan Ingram, his second year with UIndy, looking for his first points in the second year. There it is. The turnaround is good.
And Dylan Ingram, he played 30 games last season. He was a 2022 Freshman of the Year at Maryville University, for another GLVC member.
Wow, Noah Kahn almost jumping over Alex Gray that time. Looks like his knee actually hit his head, and he got called for the foul that time as the Panthers pass it in. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Quentin Tolles. Gray looking down low, and Kelvin called for a foul.
And Amaku getting a little bit physical down there in the paint here as we reach another media timeout here.
2 early fouls for him as we're looking for our sideline reporter and Evan Porterfield. As he makes his way towards the camera, we'll go ahead and take a break here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Sierra HD Denali Ultimate from Ray Skillman Buick GMC. This luxurious heavy-duty pickup is loaded with a Duramax Turbo Diesel V8 engine, 975 pounds of torque, 470 horsepower, and an Allison 10-speed transmission. Plus an all-new turbocharger that tows up to 20,000 pounds. Drive the most advanced heavy-duty pickup in its class and get 5.9% financing for 84 months only at Ray Skillman Buick GMC.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Here we are, 14-11, tightly contested through 8 minutes of play in the first half. Some fun basketball to watch. These two teams going at each other. Evan Porterfield in the huddle right now, just making his way over to the camera. But as for a lot of UIndy debuts, you're seeing a lot you like from guys like Deshaun Jackson and Brody Whitaker. To this point, you can't say that they're scared to find a shot. That is for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a team that is very confident in their abilities. I want to see a little bit more of the schemes that we know that Heady has worked up. Heady is a very successful coach, and he does a fantastic job here, but we're going to send it down to Evan Porterfield in just a moment.
He's saying, do not let them get that deep into the rim.
Thank you, Evan. 14-11. We're still deep into the timeout here. Early on in the stat sheet, Whitaker with 5, Jackson with 4, Ingram with 2 for Indianapolis. They're not shooting very well, but neither is any team.
He's out here making sure that his defense is the best, telling his team that they cannot get deep into their rim, making sure that they got the cleanest defense. This team's looking really great. Back to you guys.
Yeah, great stuff, Evan. He's been in the huddle, and you got to think everyone's still kind of getting to know each other. You had the summer, but really there's not a lot of time to figure out how you stack up against the competition. A very good competitor today in Kentucky Wesleyan, so you're thrown right into the fire. Currently down by 3, 14-11 as you pass to the corner. Shots up, too strong. UIndy watches it fly out. We'll stay on this side with Kentucky Wesleyan. The Panthers control it.
As we talked about it, we know that this is a team that did have the summer here, but they were still trying to figure out their roster at that point. I mean, I remember me and you, we both went to the Coach Heady press conference whenever he was announced as coach, and there was just 2 people from that team that were there, and those 2 are still here on the court, with one of them being Dylan Ingram. So they were still figuring out the roster, just now figuring it out, obviously. lot less time than the average team would have.
Turnover forced by the Greyhound defense that time. Just the second one from Kentucky Wesleyan in over 8.5 minutes. They'll bring up Noah Kahn to get the Greyhound offense going. Right side in Jackson. Jackson will pull up. That one is cash. Jackson has a great stroke. I love what I'm seeing.
Absolutely. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Deshaun Jackson, too. Like we said, I looked at his scouting report, looking mostly here. He averaged 2 points a game, so I wasn't necessarily he wasn't jumping out the screen to me, but he has been definitely my favorite player to see so far from this Greyhounds team.
Kick out, Alex Gray gets Zool up in the air, will dish off. It's Miles. Fight for the rebound. This call going the Greyhounds' way. And Zach Zool. A hustle play resulting in Greyhound possession. They're down by 1.
We're about to see the Greyhounds go back on offense here. They have now cut the deficit to just 1. Noah Kahn doing a pretty solid job at running this offense here. Like we said, it's his first game. Running an offense is hard. And being in your first game for playing with the new team, it's going to be even harder, especially from a player that, like we said, is the only one not from the Midwest.
Dylan Ingram. He's telling the offense to get out the way. He feels like he has a matchup. He'll go out to the post. Back to the basket. A turnaround. He passed out of it. Jewel was covered. Turnover Greyhounds. And here come the Panthers. Moving baseline. Reverse layup. Didn't have the touch.
And here we're seeing the Greyhounds pushing the tempo, which is what we want to see from them.
Noah Kahn trying to find Dylan Ingram down low. Not there. Tapped away. As Whitaker will check back in for the UIndy Greyhounds.
And the Greyhounds, they are looking surprising to me. I thought that this would be a game where, like we said, Kentucky Wesleyan, they are the better team. They have come in as the better team. And this Greyhounds team, we've seen them host the NCAA tournament for the past 2 years, but they were actually ranked 6th in the preseason polls for the GLVC. So definitely we're not expected to be doing, or at least keeping up as well as they have been.
Both of these teams getting AP poll votes as the triple is up and through. Tucker Tornada, a 6'8 freshman, getting on the board. A blocking foul on Schul that time. That'll be his second. That'll be his first in the contest as he hits the floor. Edward Jones Jr., nothing fancy. Just getting to a spot and elevating for 2.
Absolutely, that's straight bully ball right there, and that's really what you want to see from your forward.
Noah Kahn, hesitation, gets into the lane. A turnaround jumper will fall in off back rim, and he gets it to go. 18-60, tapped away. Greyhounds have it again, looking to get out on the break. Kahn will slow it down. Hesitation, now drives again, looking for a second foul and some emotion from Kahn. What I'm seeing is guys out there that are loving to be playing the game of basketball. This is an emotional team early, and they're playing hard.
Exactly, and everything I've seen from the beginning of this season, from practices, things like that, Noah Kahn has become one of my favorite players to watch because he has a lot of emotion. He does a good job at leading this team vocally and physically, and I think that's a really important thing for a team that is still trying to figure out their identity.
And to think you're coming on the heels of a team, as you said, that has hosted the NCAA Midwest Regional twice in this very building in 2 consecutive years. Look back to last season, 23-9, 17-3 within the Great Lakes Valley Conference as regular season champs. And they lost in the semifinal of the conference tourney and the semifinal of the NCAA Midwest Regional to Ferris State, and then William Jewell in the conference. Those are heavy shoes to fill for not only the players, but for a coach in Scott Heady. You have a coach in Paul Corsaro that made the step up to Division I at now IU Indianapolis. But this is a chance to assert yourself early and to lay the foundation for new starts to this program.
Absolutely, and Scott Heady, I mean, he's no chump either. I mean, he has a fantastic career and had a very good career at Merriam as well. So he's stepping in from big shoes to even bigger shoes. And I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see how the players react to the pressure that being a UIndy Greyhound has.
And to see how this team meshes together will be very, very interesting, coming from everywhere. Not a lot of these guys having been played together before. As Khan, he's sent away. Miles, right side, McIntyre connects.
And that was a gorgeous jump shot. The flick of the wrist there, absolutely perfect.
That's
he
pretty.
knew he was going to shoot it as soon as he went down that court. I love to see a pull-up transition three there.
You can tell a shooter
Absolutely.
when a shooter shoots. That guy, a shooter.
And shooters shoot, like they say.
Tornado. He's met at the rim. And Ringo will force the miss. It's with Miles. A patient offense now for Drew Cooper's Panthers. Up top, he found the roller going up. Great defense from Brody Whitaker.
Whitaker right there being a giant slayer, absolutely stepping up and going against the bigger man.
Zach Jewell. A bounce across the floor. Just to keep that ball alive as you're falling is pretty tough to do, but McIntyre will do it. Ringo looking to set up in the post. High pass gets to him, and the foul is called on Noah Khan coming off the weak side to help.
And Ringo's going to cause some issues, and I really want to see what Heady's going to do, because if I'm seeing Ringo in, I'm going to want Amelko in as well, because we were talking about how Amelko is the tallest player on this team, and the Greyhounds are pretty small. And seeing how dominant Ringo has been early in this game, I would want to see an actual even size matchup.
Greyhounds have a chance to talk it over. All knotted up at 19 at Nickerson Hall. Caden Cooper, Charles Foster on the GLVC Sports Network.
In NCAA Division II, student-athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student-athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student-athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
19-19. 7:47 to play in the half. And two teams really going at each other. Two teams that seem on an equal playing field. And go ahead, Charles.
And speaking of not equal playing field, I mean, Hounds versus Panthers historically has not been. The Panthers are 56-16 historically against the Greyhounds. The Panthers have had the better of this series, and now coming into this, the Greyhounds are looking to change history, and they scored just the most points that they have. Last year, they played the best that they've played against them since beating them in 2013, where they only lost 64-60. So right now, this is a chance for them to rewrite history and win for the first time since 2013 against this club.
Yeah, Panthers have won 10 of the last 13, including a 7-game win streak and that stretch. We come back after the timeouts, and the 1-1 sees the first go down for Terrence Ringo Jr. You were talking about Ringo before the break. Out of Evansville, this guy has proved in just about 13 minutes to be a monster down low, really asserting himself and his body.
Absolutely. I love seeing a strong, classic big man that just – he knows his role. He doesn't try and shoot threes, doesn't try and dribble off the ball. He knows he is just a big boy, and he's going to eat space. I like to see that.
Hounds get there, put it down, +1, Brody Whitaker. This is his senior season coming over from Marion with Coach Scott Heady. And this is the guy that I think a lot of Greyhound fans are looking to turn into the guy on this team. I mean, you look at him averaging 20 at Marion nearly, 19.3 to be exact. And we're waiting to see if that translates to the Division II level. You see the skill sets, you see the IQ, you see the feel for the game.
Absolutely, and Brody Whitaker here. He, like we said, 1,000-point scorer at Marion, all-time leading scorer at Greencastle High School in history. I mean, that is a fantastic mark. This guy is a bucket, and if he can be that here for the Greyhounds, I think that'll be very big for them.
Wesleyan moving it around the arc. It's with Gray to Tolles down low, looking for Ringo Jr., where Dylan Ingram is going to pick up a foul. And we were mentioning Ringo Jr. and his effect. He has already drawn multiple fouls at this point.
I mean, yeah, you have the foul him. I mean, Ringo is just simply bigger. And now we're looking here where you're going to get your players in foul trouble. I think that Amoko needs to come in and be that size difference between Ringo and also Amoko. He plays very aggressive, and I think he can match Ringo's aggressiveness.
And probably the reason you don't see Kelvin Amoko in right now is he has 2 personals. And so we'll see how Coach Heady looks to deal with those number. Amoko and Diskin both have 2 alongside Noah Kahn. So foul trouble somewhat early for the Hounds here in the first half.
Yeah, and the Hounds, I mean, they're playing against a very aggressive Kentucky Wesleyan team. I mean, they play aggressive. That's their brand of basketball, and they're going to get you in foul trouble, and that's where the bench is going to be very important. I mean, I guess the best time for your bench to be important is a game where you're trying to figure out who's going to be playing.
Sean Jackson got to the hoop that time. Kentucky Wesleyan, they've stood sturdy at the rim. Taken away. Here it comes again. It's Jackson going up right-handed, a lot of contact and a whistle.
And that right there was the epiphany of just, if he makes it, it's not a foul. If he misses, it's the foul. A great steal there, great way to be on the ball. And once again, Deshaun Jackson just doing a good job at making himself known on this Greyhounds team.
Talk about a guy who just has a knack for putting shots up. This guy, you can see in his movements, you can see in his shots, he's a scorer, looking to put it down. And, I mean, it makes sense when you look at this guy's family. The Jackson family, they're into it. His mom played at Indiana State. Dad played at Lindsey Wilson College. His sister plays at Memphis right now. It's Destiny Jackson. And also has a sister that played volleyball at the Division I level as well. So an athletic family, and Jackson continues to carry on that legacy, picking up full court here.
And some families are just molded in sports. And that is what I like to see here, because that's just a generation of sports. And I guarantee you that their future kids will also be playing sports as well.
There's the lob, and it's good. That time, Brody Whitaker jumping too early. And Kentucky Wesleyan with all the time in the world to put up 2. With a step back. Some fancy dribble moves, but all for a 2-cent finish. That one falls out.
And now we're seeing the Greyhounds here. Very close game. They're doing a good job at keeping in it, currently in a bonus right now. With still 6 minutes left to go in the first half. I want to see this Greyhounds team be a little bit more disciplined, not only in their shot taking, but also in, like we said, trying to stay out of foul trouble here in this first half.
Wesley in the corner. Tolles to Gray, moving around to the left side now, and McIntyre down low. And Huyuk. He'll fire across court. There to pick it off was Pierce Thomas. Thomas, he'll cross over, get to the rack, and add one to that deuce.
And there goes Pierce Thomas, who has had a little bit of a quiet start here for the Greyhounds, but now putting up his first points. You like to see not only taking it down on one side of the court, but finishing through the contact on the other side.
A lot of coaches like to say your best offense is a good defense. Greyhounds forcing 6 turnovers to this point, which doubles their total of 3.
And Pierce Thomas, another transfer. He's a redshirt junior. He was a 4-star recruit from Brownsburg High School, and he played 23 games as a freshman at Butler University, where he averaged only 0.7 points a game, which is where he's here to make an impact and to get the minutes that he thinks he deserves.
Alex Gray. This is Fatih Huyuk. Gray again has all day, and he makes the Greyhounds pay. Nobody around him. Attacking again. Here's Jackson. Can't fire back. McIntyre unloads the clip. Can't hit the shot. Foul on the floor. And looks like it's staying over here on this right side.
And if that is on the Greyhounds, they will be shooting free throws, and that's what we're looking like we are going to be seeing here. And it looks like that foul was on Zach Schul.
Or they might have given it to Pierce Thomas as he steps off the floor.
I think you were right. That may be on me.
So 9 total fouls for the Hounds to this point as the free throws up and converted.
And currently in the single bonus, like you said, making that first one, so he will be getting a second one.
Latter end of a 1-and-1. It's Alex Gray, the 5th-year guard for Wesleyan. Now Noah Kahn. Has to be so tough to come into a new program, adapt the offense to be the point guard. Zach Schul. And Schul just can't find the bottom of the net today. That one finds nothing at all. McIntyre gets inside, pump fake, trying to go low post. Schul takes it away. Backs it up. Now he'll fire up the floor. Tornado finds contact, put up the shot. And we'll see if it was in the shooting motion. Looks like it.
And I would assume that it was. That would definitely at least be ruled continuation there. And that right there is what I like to see from Schul, because he airballed the last one he took, but then he goes on the other end, he gets a steal, creates another opportunity for his team to put up more points on the board. You want to see that from a player who makes those mistakes, is to make a positive on the other end of the floor.
Says a lot. Greyhounds missed the free throw. Wesleyan in the double bonus for the rest of this 4:49 that we have to play. Tornado goes 1 for 2 from the stripe, cutting the lead to 2. Edward Jones Jr. around the left side in the hands of Gavin Reed. Edward Jones Jr. picks up his dribble in the GLVC logo. And now Wesleyan looking for the shot. Under 10 seconds to shoot. It's with the Turk. A right-handed hook shot is pretty. It goes.
And Faith, he has that hook shot. I mean, that's his second one this game, and he does a great job at causing that.
Tornado, a quick trigger. It's off the mark. Here come the Panthers. Ayuk has it tapped away. Tornado, the freshman, has had a pretty solid showing to this point. And with that tap away, sends us to the under 4 media timeout at Nickerson Hall. 32-28 on UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
People don't think much about their company's printers until they break down. And then what? You run out and buy another cheap printer? Frequent repairs, replacements, and toner can add up. A lot. Chances are your business could save thousands per year on toner, supplies, and repairs and improve productivity, all while getting best-in-class equipment and service. Contact the local experts at Gordon Flesh Company today for a free assessment. Business technology managed.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We knew Kentucky Wesleyan was going to be more than a capable opponent for the Greyhounds. They lead by 4. 32-28 the score with about 4 to play here at Nickerson Hall. What are they doing well to this point, Charles?
Kentucky Wesleyan, I mean, they're just doing a good job at carving out the paint for themselves. I mean, we've seen Ringo. He already has 8 points on the night. McIntyre as well from the arc has 8 points. I mean, they've just done a really good job at creating their offense, and they have a lot of flow. And I really like to see this team continue to show that flow. I think they can take this one home.
Ayuk gets out of the double, passes away, mid-range jump shot using the bank to put it through.
Big old fundamentals right there, using the bank on the mid-range shot. But hey, the bank is always open here.
Brody Whitaker, he'll step back over McIntyre, touched every inch of the rim, and falling out. It's with Tolles, so hesitate, pass to McIntyre, who now orchestrates the offense. Looking down low, Dylan Ingram guarding front, and gets it back. In the corner, works the elbow, and Dylan Ingram tapped the ball away, but reaching across the body of Hayuk will get called for the foul. He has multiple as well.
Yeah, and that's the foul trouble. It's going to become an issue here as we're looking at the fouls. Ingram now at 2, Khan at 2, Amalko at 2, and Diskin at 2, even in his limited play. I mean, this has just been – they've not been able to stay out of foul trouble, and that's going to be an issue coming into the second half.
I mean, is there a way to approach that?
I definitely think it's going to be more disciplined. I mean, don't jump as much at shots. Don't jump on pump fakes. Don't reach over the body like we just saw Dylan do. I mean, just play a smarter brand of basketball. Allow yourself to be behind them and not try and go for the steal of the block all the time.
Took some time to wipe the sweat off the floor. Let's see Hayuk out of Antakya, Turkey. Transfer from Southwestern Iowa over to Kentucky Wesleyan. A very solid forward, averaging about 12 and 7, sometimes an assist to his name. And we've seen his post game is very strong, even against tall defenders.
Yeah, and that's been the biggest thing. His post hook is gnarly. I mean, he absolutely is so comfortable in the post. He plays very slow in the post. You normally see a lot of people use a lot more power, but he has a lot of finesse in the post, which is not something you see as often.
He'll check out, bring back in Terrence Ringo Jr. on the defensive end. Zach Jewell running baseline, looking for a pass. He finds Whitaker, and Whitaker from the left wing again.
And Whitaker, as we saw last time, it hit every part of the rim, so why not on the next one hit no rim? An absolutely great three-point shot there to cut the deficit to just 5.
2 for 5 from downtown for him. Caleb Allen up to McIntyre, will grab it back, running right, mid-range jumper with a hand in his face, not there. Khan, he'll step back, left side again, it's Whitaker. To Khan, right corner, Jewell. Jewell powers inside, and he lands hard on his arm.
And he does go down clutching his arm as he gets a lot of contact there on that one.
He's waving it out under the basket. A lot of people are tough. Zach Jewell is a tough guy.
Yeah, Jewell's definitely one of them.
I can remember Jewell battling through injury after injury last year. Twisted ankle, hurt wrist. You name it, the guy was never out for more than a game. If it was up to him, it wouldn't be for more than a quarter. This guy is a competitor, and at his heart, he's a hooper. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go out there and play basketball, which is why we see him after a 1,000-point performance and his stints at Ohio Dominican. He comes over to UIndy, takes a roll off the bench for Paul Corsaro's Greyhounds, and now sticks around for the Scott Heady era in Indianapolis. And even after taking the hit, falling to the ground, he goes 2 for 2 from the stripe and high-fives everybody on the bench, a competitor.
Absolutely. I mean, he was the GMAC Freshman of the Year, and he was on the second team for 2023. So, I mean, he's a baller, and he knows his role here on the Greyhounds. Like we said, one of the few players staying with this Greyhounds team.
Terrence Ringo Jr. It's Tolles. Tolles will pull up, 3 seconds on the shot clock, and that one was pretty. Nothing but nylon for him.
Absolutely. Tolles there, just a beautiful mid-range jump shot. And these guards on this Panthers team have some beautiful jump shots.
And I think we're seeing kind of the resurgence of the mid-range.
Especially, with these two teams, they like their mid-range, and I like to see it because that is one of my favorite brands of basketball as well.
Denial from Ringo Jr. who'll run the floor. It's Tolles for 3. You bet.
And Tolles continues on with his hot shooting as he scores 5 points in under 20 seconds, and that forces a timeout from the Greyhounds.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
41-33, Kentucky Wesleyan making the short drive up to Indianapolis, and currently with an 8-point lead in the driver's seat with a minute 19 to play in the half.
Yep, and like you said, minute 19 to play. Both teams are in the bonus right now. It's going to be some gritty basketball to end off this first half.
A wide open shot won't go for UIndy. McIntyre picking up the board, and Tolles will bring it down for the Panthers. Panthers last year were 21-9. This is a program that continues to succeed year in, year out. Kavion Mitchell has it. He's guarded closely by Jackson. And it's Tolles looking for probably a 2-for-1 scenario, best case scenario for them. And they'll keep it alive here. Kavion Mitchell to McIntyre, too strong on the layup. Greyhounds have 35 seconds. Cross court, Deshaun Jackson. Jackson drives baseline, passes it up, caught by Whitaker. Whitaker back to Jackson, and he'll flush it.
And Deshaun Jackson, he is a hooper, and he loves to find a way to score. Doing a great job there, moving directly after passing the ball. Pass and move, pass and move. That's what we're taught since we're kids. Great job there going to the fundamentals.
And a great find from Whitaker that time. The give and go almost to free up Jackson for the shot. We'll stick around right here. 6.3 to play. What can happen in that 6 seconds?
I mean, it looks like they're going to try and, I guess, use their timeout because they're going to look and figure out a play for these last 6 minutes to try and go into the halftime locker room with an even bigger lead. I don't really know exactly what the plan is here. I think they just want to get any bucket they can, so I would see them going for a 2 most likely.
Just whatever looks there, right?
Yeah, whatever looks there.
Just to head into the locker room with some momentum
absolutely
on your side.
Because you're going against a team right now that you were expecting to beat. I mean, historically, you have. And now coming into this game, they've put up a fight. The Greyhounds have put up a fight. And now you want to have the momentum because, let's be honest, the Greyhounds have it coming into the second half.
Out of the 30-second timeout, Drew Cooper sends the Panthers onto the floor with Scott Heady, setting the Greyhounds out there as well to pass it in. Kennedy Miles. And an error over there at the scores table as the buzzer sounded with no clock expiring. Still 6.3.
Happens to the best of us.
On the big board. Passing it in. Kavion Mitchell. Mitchell gets to the hoop, and another stint of great defense from Brody Whitaker. Shots up and over the backboard, almost clipping the noggin of a fan sitting behind there. But as both teams head into the locker room, 41-36. Evan Porterfield is on the sideline. Evan, what do you have for us?
By Kentucky Wesleyan, who's playing a fantastic defensive game, punishing them. Kentucky Wesleyan playing great offensive under the basket, which Greyhounds cannot take advantage of right now. That's what's hurting them so bad. But it's a great game overall. I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you. Both of these squads looking to have repeat seasons of last year, looking to win more than anything. They can set the tone here tonight for the rest of their season. We'll be back on UIndy TV and the GLBC Sports Network for the second half soon.
University of Indianapolis's School of Occupational Therapy really is set apart in that our doctoral program offers a lot of integrated hands-on experience with faculty members for best student growth and learning opportunities. Working with faculty members has been great because they all want the same for us. They want us to push ourselves, but know our limits right now. I have an open door policy with our students, and I really welcome wholeheartedly the discussions that we have because that only improves the learning value here at the university.
Upon arriving the first time, seeing the health pavilion, it was one of the major highlights. The space to work and collaborate with other students was super crucial because we spend so much time on campus studying, doing group projects.
With OT, we have lab experiences in most of our classes, and so it's about half of our cohort that's going to be in a lab, and oftentimes we're split up into groups. So we may have a group that's in the kitchen working on a cooking task. We may have a group that's in the bathroom working on transferring patients. The university brings in clients with some health issues from the community for hands-on practice with our students within our labs and within our classrooms. We have our fieldwork coordinators that work very closely with our students, and we have contracts nationally all over the country.
So one major life lesson that I've already learned through the program is being able to own my professionalism in any kind of situation, no matter if I'm in the workplace, if I'm in school, if I'm at home. I feel like has really grown me as a person, but also as a future practitioner.
Growing up in Guatemala, it is our nature to surround ourselves with others. Not too many girls played golf, so I had to compete against the boys. Then I had to recruit myself to colleges that had never even heard of me. And now, thanks to the support I have received at UIndy, my success on the course has allowed me to return to my homeland during the summertime and represent my country on the world stage. I am Pilar Echeverria, and the GLVC is me.
Hi, I'm Sue Willey, Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics at the University of Indianapolis. I'd like to wish our Greyhounds and all the student athletes of the GLVC the best of luck this year, both academically and athletically. Go Hounds!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Without the donors here on campus, we would not have all the resources that we do have. For example, the Health Pavilion gives so many students so many fantastic resources.
For all the donors and alumni, I want them to know that their support and their donations are going such a long way, and not even just helping myself, but I see my classmates, their excitement of getting a scholarship when they find out, or just knowing that they have that support behind them. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Donors have impacted our experience at the university because it allows us to be able to grow and be able to do like different experiences.
When I got here the first year, we were engineering programs inside of physics. Within 1 year, because of the gift of the RBNS Foundation, we were able to catapult the programs into a school of engineering. The gift has helped us attract students. The gift has helped us elevate the design spine. And at the same token, we've also been able to secure equipment to build laboratories for the students to learn in the different disciplines.
The Student Investment Fund, which was made possible by 2 generous donations to UIndy, was very real. And when I say real, real money. We had $100,000 to invest on behalf of the university as students. This finance lab stretches the ability for the teachers to instruct upon their students versus just from the book and PowerPoint. You know, in this finance lab, you're going to see computers, you're going to see monitors on the wall with Bloomberg terminals, news going across it, just really bringing out what a real work environment would look like. The extra experiences made possible by donors is something that I'll cherish for my whole life.
They have helped me with educational opportunities on and off campus to further my education, and they even gave me an opportunity to travel to Spain for spring term.
As the new Dean of the Shaheen Colleges of Arts and Sciences, I am grateful to all of the campaign supporters, but I'm particularly excited to formally thank our college's namesakes, Riyadh and Yvonne Shaheen. This gift is very unique for a College of Arts and Sciences, impacting students and faculty with a breadth of opportunities for discovery and exploration, such as the Shaheen Research Grants for both students and faculty. The gift has also supported the arts, enriching our university community and beyond. As an example, the Shaheen Incubation Grant for the Indianapolis Quartet is a unique collaboration between our music faculty and the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. On behalf of the Shaheen College, its 17 academic units, the 172 faculty, and more than 10,000 alumni, thank you, Yvonne, and your family so very much.
The Paul Washington Lacey Emerging Leaders Program was designed to really identify the leader in every single student, but particularly focus on those students who may not see the leader in themselves. So we've got 4 pillars: leadership development, career readiness, academic excellence, and personal growth. And so we have workshops that are focused on each one of those pillars or aspects of the program. So the Paul Washington Lacey Leadership Program really further shows the legacy of Paul Washington Lacey and what he was able to do for our students here.
Without our donors, we wouldn't have the things we have, like the supplies we have for nursing school, like our sim dolls and stuff. None of that would be possible without our donors.
I had the opportunity to go on a spring term trip to Ecuador. Trip wouldn't have been possible for me without actually receiving this gift from them, from the donors. It impacted me in the sense that I saw firsthand the need for my profession and the continuing growth there is for us to actually go out there and help people in countless ways. And in my sense, it was healthcare. So I would just like to say thank you to all the donors for continuing to support students like me with a passion for going out and helping people who are a little bit less fortunate than us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your donation.
My name is Rob Manuel, and I'm the president of the University of Indianapolis, and you're watching the GLVC Sports Network.
In golf, the scorecard provides a number on which we are ultimately judged. In the classroom, it is test scores and semester grades that determine our fate. With all the ups and downs, it can be lonely and stressful. Sometimes you just need someone to listen. It is comforting to know our UIndy team extends beyond the course.
The Sierra HD Denali Ultimate from Ray Skillman Buick GMC. This luxurious heavy-duty pickup is loaded with a Duramax turbo diesel V8 engine, 975 pounds of torque, 470 horsepower, and an Allison 10-speed transmission. Plus an all-new turbocharger that tows up to 20,000 pounds. Drive the most advanced heavy-duty pickup in its class and get 5.9% financing for 84 months only at Ray Skillman Buick GMC.
Take a time out with the sounds of Portillo's.
Order number 3, come see me. Order number 3.
Portillo's. It always sounds good.
We're back to a 41-36 contest on the south central side of Indianapolis as the Panthers lead the Greyhounds. Caden Colford alongside Charles Foster here on the GLVC Sports Network, where a lot of Greyhound fans are getting their first look at a newly built team, a newly built program headed by first-year coach Scott Heady. Charles, you're next to me. What's your first impression of this program and this team?
I think that this team has been a lot better than I expected. I mean, we were looking at this team, and not too many people were really too excited for this team. I mean, this was a team that, in history, I know whenever I was here my first 2 years, the basketball was like one of the biggest events, and everyone was so excited, and we were really highly ranked every single year. And now we ranked only 6th in just the GLVC poll. So to see them come out here and go against a team that is historically 40 games better than them, and actually putting up a really good fight has surprised me. And a lot of these players that have left their past opportunities for a better one are starting to really shine bright.
As we look how we got to the score, 41-36 for Kentucky Wesleyan, it's been a really balanced attack. Leading them in scoring actually off the bench, a forward, and Fatih Huyuk with 9 points on the day. 8 for both Terrence Ringo and Alex Gray. And also, as we look at Logan McIntyre, he's got 8 as well. Tolles at the point guard has 7. So really you're seeing scoring from everywhere on that side of the ball. For Indianapolis, it's been mostly, to an extent, Brody Whitaker with 11 and Deshaun Jackson. 2 newcomers in double figures already. Outside of that, the freshman and Tornado with 4. Ingram with 2, Zool with 2, Thomas with 3, and Noah Khan with 3. So for Indianapolis, I mean, just to dive deeper into them, you have 2 scorers in double figures and everyone else kind of picking up slack where needed. What's that say to you?
I think that they're starting now to figure out who those scorers are. We already knew Whitaker was going to be that scorer coming in, but Deshaun Jackson, we did not know that. I mean, he didn't even start this game coming into off the bench, putting up 11 points and putting them up very fast. He is a very confident jump shooter. He believes in his ability, and as he should, because he has done a fantastic job. But we're also starting to see, as a lot of these players, like we said, are just starting to find their role. I mean, no one even has multiple assists on this team. So it has been a little bit of hero ball, in my opinion. There's been a lot of one-on-one isolation. I want to see a little bit more ball movement from this team. I want to see them start to play like a team. But for now, talent may prevail as they just are right now trying to win the isolation basketball, that street ball.
And on the other end, if the Panthers are really enjoying a noticeable advantage, it's down on the post. Their big men have really won the battle down low today, and those in Huyuk and even Terrence Ringo Jr. have really been bodying up down low. And as we look at the rebounding battle for both of these squads, you can see that as well. Kentucky Wesleyan with 22 to Indianapolis's only 15. Is that why we see the scores it sits right now?
Yeah, I think that definitely the rebounding has been a problem. It's just been the whole big man in general. I mean, we talked about it. Only one player even above 6'8" on this Greyhounds team. And then we look at the rest of the Greyhounds, they're not that tall. And then the ones that are tall are getting in foul trouble. So, I mean, it's just been to where the size advantage has been a massive issue for the Greyhounds. They're going to need to figure out coming into the second half.
They'll break it down and head out. 5 out there for the Hounds to this point. Brody Whitaker alongside Dylan Ingram, Deshaun Jackson at that, Noah Khan, and finally Pierce Thomas. Kentucky Wesleyan, on the other hand, this is now Kennedy Miles, Edwards Jones Jr., Quentin Tolles, who has the rock right now, as he passes to Jones Jr. And finally, Logan McIntyre with Ringo Jr. as the bigs in the lineup. Ringo Jr. has it right now. First shot of the half, Kennedy Miles, and it's too long. First set of offense for the Hounds. A step back top of the key. A long two is off right, brought down by Ringo Jr. Dylan Ingram.
And two players hit the floor there, no call. As we're looking here, one thing I'm kind of noticing that's a little, as we see a great effort there by Dylan Ingram there, proving us wrong about the offensive rebound, getting the and one putback right there. That is what you want to see. Like we said, that we need to see that adjustment outside of the first half.
You know, for Dylan Ingram, his career in college has been kind of crazy. Freshman of the year at Maryville, and since then you've been striving for a role on a team. And you look at this guy's strengths, and he's an athlete, he's a versatile defender, and you see it there, a pretty solid rebounder for his size. And it looks since last year he's put on some muscle as well. So you're looking for him to really blossom into the role that a lot of people around this basketball community know that he can be.
Absolutely, and I have a few people that I'm close with inside the Maryville basketball team that have told me about his work ethic. Before, whenever he was announcing that he was transferring to UIndy, they were telling me about how good of an addition he would be. He was not able to actually perform too well because he didn't play that much last year. Now he's starting, and now he's going to get a chance to really show what he can be.
Well, I feel like last year, defensively, he never had a problem. It was just finding that role on offense. What could he do to help the team out, help the team put points on the board? And currently that's what they need here, down by 2. He has it.
And it's hard, absolutely, coming into a team where you're transferring on a team that has been set for 2 to 3 years and successful to find that role.
Noah Khan found some space, made it count, the floater.
And as I was saying earlier in the half, one of the things I'm noticing here is that Sean Jackson actually did start with the starters coming into the second half here. So obviously Coach Heady liked what he saw in that first half.
There it is, 3-on-3 break. Tyler Ingram, a kickback. Open man. It's too far. Greyhounds could not convert on the open look to bring down McIntyre. It's Gray. He'll let it go, and he'll put it down. Just as the Greyhounds tie it up, Kentucky Wesleyan controls the lead once more.
And no hesitation from Gray there to give the the Panthers the lead over the Greyhounds.
A quick pull to Sean Jackson. He fires back. Knotted up again, 44 all. Or well, a long 2 that time as they count it. Score 44-43. Getting away, Quentin Tolles found his shot. Foul on the floor as Terrence Ringo went down.
And it looked like I think it was Noah Khan that was called for the foul there. I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, I think I'm right. Noah Khan called for the foul there as he absolutely plowed through Ringo there. Get this man on the linebacker court. That was a good hit.
Quentin Tolles now with Kennedy Miles, a wraparound, getting to the buckets and adding 2 to the total. Jackson, kick out, mishandled, a battle on the floor, and as a Panther rolled out of bounds, UIndy will keep possession.
And great hustle there, absolutely no hesitation from Kennedy Miles to dive for that ball, rolled out of bounds, but you like to see that effort as a coach. Drew Cooper definitely likes what he sees from his fifth-year senior.
It's Diskin to the high post, Dylan Ingram, handoff, Whitaker. Whitaker keeps the foot down, passes out for Jackson. Now Pierce Thomas, a free throw jumper, call it a pass. But as the shot clock expires, whistle blows, and the foul might be overruled here. And it is. Far side official is going to overrule the baseline official, and this is going to be a shot clock violation if it stands. But instead, they're going to go to the replay booth or the scores table, take a look at the monitor they have there and see where the clock was when the foul did occur. It was definitely close, and you're under the basket as it looked like Brody Whitaker picked up the offensive board that time. Did he have enough time to get it up is the question.
I believe that he did, or at least whenever the whistle went off, I do believe that the foul was called before the buzzer hit 00. Not very often that you see the sideline official overrule a baseline official on a call under the block there.
But it does give gives your team a chance to regroup, get together, and you don't have to waste a timeout. And that's always a plus. 16:45 to play here in the second half of action. Is anything surprising you from either of these two squads?
I think I would say the most thing surprising, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I think that UIndy's, the way that Deshaun Jackson has been playing, coming in, like I said, we look at it, he only averaged a point or 2 points last year, so I'm going to come in and be this team's leading scorer was definitely not on my bingo sheet. But also one thing that has surprised me has been how much they're getting dominated in the paint. This is a team that last year was extremely dominant in the paint with the likes of Choa, with the likes of Steinfeld. So to see how much of an impact losing them has changed, this is a completely different identity for a Greyhounds team.
And for a team, if you want to be good in the rebounding category, you want to be good defensively, you need that anchor. And I think that's what the Greyhounds are searching for here. And you're trying to get your redshirt freshman and Umwako into the mix, but it's hard. He's been battling foul trouble. The good news is that there's only one Greyhound who's in really deep trouble, and that's Noah Kahn with 3 personal fouls, 16 minutes left to play. Remember, that limit is 5.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and we're looking at Umoko. I think he's definitely going to have to be the anchor. I mean, like I said, he's the only one on this team that is even above 6'8". I mean, okay, we see Tucker Tornado, who is 6'8". He's another freshman, and he is a center. So, I mean, he could get – we've seen more minutes than what we had planned for him already in this opening game.
But a chance to show your stuff, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, with a bunch of guys you haven't played a whole lot with against really one of the best teams in the Midwest. And here they have it. Panthers in the short corner. They'll pull up, and somehow Kentucky Wesleyan will convert. Kennedy Miles puts it through, and really, that was a broken offensive set. But hey, shot goes down.
And as we're talking and looking onto the season, we've seen now the case of 2 teams that we've called today, with the women's team playing before this, playing against some pretty top teams in the, well, one top team in the Midwest, one top team in the nation. And that kind of draws the question, as a coach, as an organization, do you prefer to play against a good team in this first game, or do you prefer to play against kind of a mediocre, worse team?
Well, it's funny you say that, because we look at Kentucky Wesleyan's first game of the season in an exhibition. They played number 23 ranked at the Division I level, Kentucky, and they lost by 71 points.
Good Lord.
Yeah, tough look. Here come the Greyhounds. Out of the set, it's Jackson. Jackson to the elbow. Kick it to Whitaker. Whitaker, he'll drive, and yeah, bucket counts. Goaltending as Kentucky Wesleyan slapped it against the backboard. Yeah, to face Kentucky in your first game at Rupp, that score 123-52.
Good Lord, yeah. No, that's not a fun one.
So you want to talk about playing a good team or a bad team to start your season? That's how Kentucky Wesleyan did it. We'll be back to more Midwest Regional Basketball at the Division II level, 48-47 at Nixon Hall.
Take a time out with the sounds of Portillo's.
Order number 3, come see me. Order number 3.
Portillo's. It always sounds good.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
48-47, two teams bite at the bit to get back on the floor. 15:57 to play, and we've seen great performances on both sides of the basketball, but nobody really gaining an upper hand. There's an X factor here. If there's a way to get on top in one category to take you to the promised land, what is that area, Charles?
I mean, right now, I think the best way to take your team to the promised land, especially in D2 basketball, is rebounding. If you can out-rebound your team, the other team, you're normally going to win the game. And as we're looking here at the Greyhounds, they are getting out-rebounded, and they're getting outplayed in the paint. I think that this paint game is going to be very monumental for Kentucky Wesleyan if they're going to be able to take this game home.
One thing I noticed, too, is that for not just the Greyhounds, but almost every team, as you start your season, it's very difficult to have a very solid clip after, extended summer break, your off season, right? Greyhounds are shooting just about 23% from distance. Kentucky Wesleyan, they're not having those same woes. They're shooting about 39%. What do you think the difference is? Is it shot selection? Are you just seeing better shooters on the end of the Panthers?
I think. I'm definitely not seeing better shot selection. I mean, we talk about a three from earlier. We just watched a guy just hit a LeBron-like three where he just sat there for 5 seconds, just shoot it. I mean, it was no smart shot. He just felt like he was a better shooter, and that's what he did. And that is the case. I do believe that this Kentucky Wesleyan has better shooters on this lineup.
Have it on the near side now. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Still haven't gotten into much in terms of a set. But they get to the rack, and a block that time. Brody Whitaker. Fired around Whitaker. Both ends. He'll go up, sent away.
And that right there, absolute karma there. Ringo getting Whitaker on the other end after Whitaker got the block.
Edward Jones Jr. had the look. Not there. Second chance. And Kentucky Wesleyan won't mess that one up, making it look easy. A big body bucket.
Ringo is an absolute animal down in that paint. I mean, he just out-muscled the entire Greyhounds defense down there.
Sean Jackson, step back over those.
I don't think Deshaun Jackson sees a shot that he does not like. I mean, like we always say it about some people in the NBA, but the play ends here whenever it gets to him, and he just will he will take the shot, and it's going in. So you can't even hate on him for that. He is playing fantastic for this Greyhounds team.
Greyhounds bring a double to the post. It's on the left side of Miles. Miles looking down to the post again. Ringo Jr. working through a double. A tap dance, that's a travel.
And like we said earlier, looking at Deshaun Jackson with 16 points now. You know what they say, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take. Deshaun Jackson took that very literally. He has taken everything that he has seen, and it is going down as he is leading the entire game in points right now with 16.
Also, definitely in the upper third and efficiency as well. 6 for 10, 2 for 4 from long range, and he's perfect from the line. 2 for 2 with the ball here with Jewell, and now with Diskin. Jackson looking for somewhere to go. Diskin has the shot and makes it count. Turns to the crowd, you hear the boom.
Yeah, and you'll take that any day of the week because that was a very broken play. We saw the miscommunication between the teammates. And like we said, they're still getting used to each other. They're still getting used to the plays under a new coach. A little bit of miscommunication there, just taking the better shot. That's what you don't want to see.
Miles to Tolles. Tolles puts 3 on the board for the Panthers. Whistle blows. 53-53. Neither team giving an inch in this contest. Can't wait to come back to Nickerson Hall for more Greyhound basketball.
People don't think much about their company's printers until they break down. And then what? You run out and buy another cheap printer? Frequent repairs, replacements, and toner can add up. A lot. Chances are your business could save thousands per year on toner, supplies, and repairs and improve productivity, all while getting best-in-class equipment and service. Contact the local experts at Gordon Flesch Company today for a free assessment. Business technology managed.
Being a champion takes more than skill. more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
Panthers and purple, Greyhounds and Whites both out of the huddle and ready to go. 53-53. How are these teams still tied? 20 minutes and then some into the contest. Where are these two teams even?
I think both of these teams are starting to find their stride at the right time. They both seem like we just saw it down the court. We saw 3, 2, 3, 3. We're just seeing these teams. They're matching each other's buckets right now.
Greyhounds, the upper edge as of right now. Wesleyan getting into the offense. A bounce pass to Gray. Gray going into the body of Thomas. Some up and under, looking for the shot. He'll fall away. And wow, a Dirk Nowitzki-esque.
Absolutely. It looks like both teams got team takeover right now. All of them are playing fantastic. No one can miss a shot if they tried.
Very different from the first half when both teams were just praying something fell. Jackson, he'll jab, step back. This guy's a shooter, almost banked it in from the corner, but not to be that time. Pulling up, brought down by Kelvin Amoako.
And we see Coach Heady here setting up the play.
Jewell will take it. Back to Diskin. He's isolated on this side of the floor. Gets to a spot, puts it up. Offensive board, go up. +2.
And that's exactly what I've been saying I want to see from Amoako. He does a fantastic job at finding himself a little bit of space and making it his home. Getting the offensive rebound there, and that's something that we've not seen from this Greyhounds team a lot.
And that's where you could really see him carving out a very solid role, creating space after the shot to put up a second chance. Don't need one there. Shot's good. Kennedy Miles.
And Amoako, a redshirt freshman, very, very young, and he is fitting in with this new team nicely.
Diskin. A quick catch and shoot for him coming around the screen. The word on Scott Heady coming in was that his X's and O's are on par with just about anybody, anywhere in terms of basketball. If sets have been there today, as the Greyhounds bring down the board.
And Diskin has done a really good job as well, starting to show why he was a 1,000-point scorer at his last school.
Powerful bucket. Zach Jewell. Gambling in the passing lane that time leads to an open three. McIntyre can't make the Greyhounds pay, and McIntyre takes it right back. A quick dish to Tolles, and wow, just when it seems that one team is pulling the rope to their side, you see a quick snag from the other.
And quite literally a snag on that steal. What an effort play there, saving a bucket because Amoako was on the other side all alone.
Drops his defender. Set him up. Pierce Thomas elevating.
Pierce Thomas doing a fantastic job there, going towards the baseline, and I would call it more of a slip than an ankle breaker, but a great job nevertheless by this Greyhounds offense.
McIntyre, a quick dish. He found the big man. Just 1 point separating these two teams. Now Heady's directing traffic. Jewell to Diskin. He'll pull it up, call that a nose job right over his defender. Hand in his face.
Diskin now the third player on this Greyhounds team to hit double digits as he has now 10 points in this ballgame.
They'll go back to him. And we'll let the crowd tell you that story.
And the real question there will be, was he in the restricted area or not? If he was in the restricted area, then that makes a little bit more sense. But to me, that looked like a clean charge, in my opinion.
Tough look for the Hounds. 9:44 on the big board. As we get Mike's change, we'll head down to the sideline. Evan Porterfield's been in the huddle the past couple timeouts, and let's hear what he has to say.
The Hounds have found their offensive rhythm. They're keeping the ball moving, making sure that it's constantly moving until someone's open, grabs the ball, and hits that shot. It's working for them. They're tightening up on defense. The Kentucky Wesleyan still get past them, but it's a much better game. Greyhounds in the lead. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Evan. Just a couple seconds till we come back to Nickerson Hall for this remaining 9:44. GLVC Sports Network.
Back in my day, the entertainment at the football games was Uncle Larry playing his banjo in the back of the van. Go!
Turning into a ball game. 66-62, under 10 minutes to play in Indianapolis, where a team that has just been put together in a matter of months has Kentucky Wesleyan down by 4.
And just a little fun fact here, as we talked about earlier, the Greyhounds have not beaten Kentucky Wesleyan since 2013. Just to put that in perspective, I was 9 years old whenever they last beat them. And now coming in with a brand new team, a team that not many expected to beat them, now have a chance to finally get off of the wrong side of history.
Shot goes down. Remember, before the break, a questionable call, a block or a charge. Referee said block. 2 free throws on the way for Fatih Huyuk out of Turkey. He's had a great game today, adding to his totals with 13 points.
But he will now be on the bench as Ringo comes in for him. Ringo has had a very good game. I've enjoyed seeing Ringo play, and I think that he has really been a difference maker for someone that, or at least on my scouting report, was not expected to get too many minutes tonight.
There's Zool. He elevates. Amako's there. Clean it up. Left hand not there, but you heard the whistle. He'll have a chance at the stripe.
I'll say it right now. My high school coach is, if he saw that play, would probably be crying right now, because I remember as a big man, we were very much so taught, if you get that rebound and you put it back on the ground, you're on the bench. And especially in that situation right there, he got that rebound, that power dribble. It was not needed. It put himself in an opportunity for the little people to start being able to grab the ball. He needs to grab that rebound, keep it up high, and finish up high.
Moko can't hit from the free throw line today. Currently 0 for 3. And even in limited minutes, he leads his team in rebounding with 6. He gets one to go, marking 1 for 4 on the contest.
And a little bit more of a size lineup here. For the first time this game, we are seeing Ingram and Amoko in at the same time.
McIntyre, he'll spot up top of the key. And that's McIntyre's spot. That's where he wants it. Couldn't find the shot that time. Foul on the floors. The big men were battling. Ringo, a lot of contact with Kelvin Amoko. And you were saying it earlier, you don't necessarily love those calls, but there's an extent where you get pushing, there's elbows, and I guess there's got to be a whistle at some point.
Absolutely. There's definitely got to be a whistle at some point. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of them sometimes, but I mean, if you're doing illegal things, you're doing illegal things. That's the way it works.
Open shot, offensive rebound, second chance is there.
Ingram, he's a big boy. He is a very strong player. I mean, only 6'6", but he has muscle, and he knows how to use it.
Too strong of the pass. Edward Jones Jr. intended for McIntyre that time, and just off the mark.
And Mr. Momentum is starting to find his way to the Greyhounds bench here as they have to clean up some sweat on the far side of the court. But we're looking at this team. The Greyhounds Momentum, they are starting to look a lot better. This right here is the Greyhounds brand of basketball that kind of reminds me of last year. Heady he's a very respected coach for a reason. And him coming in to take the upgrade, to take the UIndy job. A lot of people wondering, what does this mean, especially with Corsaro taking most of that team to IUPUI. Now we're seeing this team, and I got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Noah Khan off the mark. Jewell trying for a second chance, but here comes a fast break from the Panthers. Far side corner, 3-ball. You better believe it.
Like you said, you better believe it, because this would not be this kind of game if they were not matching each other from distance. 69 to 67. The Greyhounds have a chance to hopefully try and break away for them.
Dylan Ingram, Whitaker, right wing triple. And even though that one falls out, you're starting to see some more energy from Dylan Ingram, especially off the glass.
That was one of my biggest issues for Dylan Ingram watching him last year, is that his energy could go down at certain moments. He was a very good player, but you could see the energy get down whenever he was tired. He seems a lot more in shape and a lot more able to play in these deeper moments in the game.
McIntyre waits for the defense to sag off, makes him pay. Hand down, man down.
Hand down, man down, and just an absolute beautiful jab step had him going in the complete wrong direction.
Heady shouting out orders. Khan running the offense out to Dylan Ingram. Ingram's being harassed as he gets in the paint. Ball's knocked away. Panthers on the break at 3-on-2. McIntyre, step back. Yes, sir.
McIntyre is a bucket, and he is right now showing it here as he hits 2 straight threes to push the Panthers up by 3.
Panthers come back from behind, and they lead it by 3, 72-69. Be back in a minute on the GLVC Sports Network.
NCAA Division II community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours. In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Oh boy, we missed basketball. And games like this are why. 72-69 as the Panthers lead the Greyhounds on the road. We're seeing two teams go back and forth and back and forth. No lead is safe. And 7 minutes time,
and
a winner's going to come out on top.
You can say that again. We missed basketball. I love basketball season. My favorite time of the year. Winter, Christmas, and basketball. You cannot get better than that, and we are now here in Nickerson Hall for the first time this year getting to call UIndy Greyhounds game.
Zach Jewell gets to the cup, left it short, dives on it. Dylan Ingram off the bounce, he'll float it, too strong. And the Panthers survive the scramble on the Greyhound end of the floor, getting back just enough defense, just in time.
And that right there is those mistakes I'm talking about. I mean, just the random swiping. I know that you really want to get the ball there, but you also got to know when to give up. You cannot let those careless fouls go away, especially in a game like this. Ingram is very important, especially now that he's kind of taken a revamped role in this Heady offense. He needs to stay available, and so he's going to have to keep himself out of foul trouble here.
Availability is the best ability, as some say. 2 players with 3, that's Noah Khan. Or, well, that's actually Khan's 4th. Diskin with 3. Ingram with 2. And Amoko with 2.
I was looking at the Greyhounds here. The Panthers. They have 5 players in double figures here they've been spreading the love here. Yep. And I like to see an offense that kind of spreads the love here because there is no certified star. They're just all scoring.
Kennedy Miles comes off the screen, cross court, Edward Jones Jr. Pump fake, goes up right hand through the contact.
Absolute beautiful move. I mean, that right there is just pure fundamental. And yeah, he definitely got hit on that to finish through it. That's what you like to see. A soft move, but hard finish.
Pierce Thomas, shake and bake, finds it.
Pierce Thomas, what a shot. These two teams are on fire, and they are feeling themselves right now.
Diskin getting tied up with Alex Gray. Couple words for each other after what looked like a push to set up the Panthers on the far end of the floor.
And you could see there, he kind of got baited. There was definitely a little bit of theatrics there. He allowed himself to get baited, get heated in the moment. Wasted foul right there. Smart play by Gray, though.
Gray to McIntyre. McIntyre looking left. Gets it to Miles. Miles, so back up, cross to his right hand. 6 seconds to shoot. Into the lane, a fall-away jumper somehow falls.
And, I mean, we've been talking a lot about Deshaun Jackson and his ability to shoot on the dribble and shoot whatever he so pleases. Kennedy Miles has that exact same DNA. I mean, he has done a fantastic job in that midi. And, I mean, he's a midi magician. What can we call him?
Right side, Pierce Thomas, it rattles in.
And Pierce Thomas back-to-back 3, 6 straight points for the Greyhounds here as he now cuts the deficit to just 1 with 5 minutes left in Nickerson Hall.
Mitchell, top of the key, was looking for the roll. Gray wasn't there. Miles pulling up over the defense. Offensive board, smacked away. Panthers still have it. And a foul called as the pass was in the air.
And that was an interesting one. Definitely a foul, but a late call. So definitely an interesting one, but it was a good foul by the ref. Like they say, never better late than never.
Alex Gray to Miles. Miles facing up Jackson. Here's Mitchell. Not there. Picked it up. Here we go. Dylan Ingram. No hesitation. Skying for the board. Edward Jones Jr. He's running the floor. McIntyre has it. Left wing picks up his dribble to the roller. Somehow keeping it in the area of play as Jackson got caught up under Miles that time. Frustrating to see as you're trying to go for the ball. Just a byproduct of the aggression there.
And you could see Heady there. He was not happy with the over-aggressiveness. I mean, he's an advocate for safe and smart basketball. And as you're seeing, that foul counter starting to go up. It was at 3 just 2 minutes ago. Now it is at 6 on the half as the Panthers are getting closer to bonus.
And just 4 minutes to play at Nickerson Hall. Coach Cooper shouting out orders. Here come the Panthers. 3 seconds to shoot. Got to put one up. Pump fake. And it's off front iron. But another board. Pass on the baseline. Whistle blows. Added to the foul total. And a couple more free throws.
And the Greyhounds are not playing disciplined basketball right now. I mean, that jump was just unnecessary. It's been the discipline. And like you said, there's been 5 fouls in the past 2.5 minutes. And this cannot happen here this late in the game.
76-75, the finale coming up.
Sierra HD Denali Ultimate from Race-Gum and Buick GMC. This luxurious heavy-duty pickup is loaded with a Duramax Turbo Diesel V8 engine, 975 pounds of torque, 470 horsepower, and an Allison 10-speed transmission. Plus an all-new turbocharger that tows up to 20,000 pounds. Drive the most advanced heavy-duty pickup in its class and get 5.9% financing for 84 months only at Race-Gum and Buick GMC.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Man, it's good to be back. 76-75, Greyhounds down by 1. If you're Coach Heady, you're this Greyhound team, where are you going to get back on top, Charles?
I mean, I'm definitely going to keep Jackson and Diskin as involved as possible. On top of that, Whitaker, I mean, I don't think Diskin's going to see – oh, Diskin is in, I lied. But having Whitaker, having Diskin, having these scores, and you see all 4 of his players that are in double digits right now are in, I think he's going to definitely have to talk to his team about being disciplined, playing smart, not getting silly fouls. I think they'll be just fine here.
.65 junior Logan McIntyre averaging 10 on the season. He's tied for the lead in points scored for the Panthers with 13. A relatively efficient day for him. That was his first free throw. He missed it. Second one on the way. Looking to put his team up by 2. He does. Now it's Grant Diskin. He's on the left wing. To Whitaker. Hands in his face. Now to Jackson. A very close defense from the Panthers here. Kick out, 3 ball. And a great box out.
Fantastic box out there.
Alex Gray bringing that one down. And the Panthers are working. 3:14 and ticking. With Mitchell. Mitchell to Jones Jr. Just 9 seconds to shoot. Tapped away by Jackson. Hounds have it. On the break, Diskin. He'll stop, pop, and not there. Ooh. Tough fall. But Whitaker's going to get up. He's all right. Hustling down the floor. It's with Miles. With numbers on the side of the Panthers. Up, under, scoop layup.
And absolutely, I think Whitaker is definitely going to be feeling that one, taking a hard bump there. He believes that he got undercut there. I personally could not see it from my angle. But as we see here, another and 1 to now put the Panthers potentially up by 5 here at a very crucial point in this game.
Looking to extend the current 2-possession ball game. Edward Jones Jr. He does just that.
And you can see Coach Heady on that sideline telling his team to calm it down, to play their brand of basketball. He knows what this team needs.
Here's Kahn, elevates, count it, plus the foul.
And that was an absolutely disgusting layup. I mean, the amount of hang time that he got on that was able to double clutch that and still get it up. That right there is how you get those points back very easily. Very hard, honestly.
Remarkable athletes on both ends of the floor, giving us a spectacle to watch this Friday night at Nickerson Hall. Noah Kahn, he'll put it down, back within 2, and a lot of basketball yet to be played in this 2:34.
And nothing is better than an opening night close game in any sport, but especially basketball. You got that big fight feel here at Nickerson Hall.
Miles. It's with Gray, a kick out. Edwards Jones Jr. will pull. Another offensive board. Alex Gray has been all over the glass as he rolls out of bounds.
And it looks like they actually awarded Coach Cooper the timeout there, so it looks like it will stay Panthers ball based on what I'm seeing.
Looks like it. Both teams at the bench standing up, a quick 30-second timeout.
And a great heads-up play by Cooper there to see his player was about to get hounded on the ground right by the out-of-bounds line, to call that quick timeout. And that right there could have just saved them from what would be a really bad situation here, but only one timeout left with 2 minutes, so that could be crucial.
Yeah, Coach Cooper, he's been on the block. 7-year head coach here at Kentucky Wesleyan. He was voted the Midwest Region and GMAC Coach of the Year. This guy speaks a language that only a few have the blessing to speak, and that's winning. And last year, you lost in the first round of both the GMAC turning the Midwest Regional, but even getting to those points, I mean, tells you what kind of program this is, and that's just the standard that Kentucky Wesleyan upholds each and every season.
Absolutely, and I think I really like to see what I'm seeing here because we're looking at two coaching staffs that win. I mean, Heady won at Marion. We're talking about Cooper. He won. And now they're both at pretty historic programs that also win. And now they're both here fighting for this win here with just 2 minutes left in this game.
Alex Gray receives the inbounds to Miles. Just 10 seconds to work with on the shot clock. It's got to be a quick set. Moving around the screen. Getting to the cup. A lot of contact, but a tough finish. Back to a two-possession game.
Noah Kahn here setting up the offense with 1:45 left on the clock.
Tylen Ingram. He'll go left side and Pierce Thomas. Down low to the post. It's a cutting Whitaker. Whitaker gets the roll.
And Whitaker doing a great job using his body, not shying away from contact here to cut this deficit to 2. Kentucky Wesleyan, they're going to take their time with this ball here.
And they should. Looking to protect the lead with just a little over a minute remaining. Gray setting the screen. Miles, he'll pull. Not there, not strong enough, but keeping it alive. Gray has it tapped away. Greyhound ball, a 3-on-1 break. Pass it up, near side, 3 on the way from Jackson.
And Jackson blowing a kiss to either the fans or to Jones Jr. An absolute beautiful shot there to give the Greyhounds the lead with 45 seconds remaining in this home opener.
Sweeter than a Hershey. That one puts the Greyhounds up by 1. Jones Jr. into the body. Great defense from Tylen Ingram. He elevates, a block from Tylen Ingram. Jackson has it. 30 seconds and ticking. And Whitaker is going to get fouled. Count Miles with that one. And the Greyhounds in the driver's seat, but you have to hit some crucial free throws.
Absolutely. And this is what I love to see. Number one, I'm going to give some respect to the refs here. A lot of refs in this situation get whistle happy. And I'm really happy to see them let it play it out in that situation. I just wanted to make sure that that was known. Number 2, to see these Greyhounds defenders in the paint be so willing to put their body on the line, to be willing to make that contact, initiate contact, that is what made them get those misses on those shots.
And it's textbook because we saw the hands of Tylen Ingram high in the sky, straight up. There was no whistle going to be blown. He was completely vertical. That's textbook, and that is the perfect time for a perfect defense.
Absolutely, and Ingram, we were talking, he's looking to find his role. Well, he is definitely doing a good job of finding it here as Whitaker does miss that second free throw.
Hey, this is not ball game yet. Still 22 seconds on the board. Kennedy Miles, he has it in the low post, looking for a pass. It's with Jones Jr. 15 seconds and counting. Kentucky Wesleyan is looking to come on the road and upset the Greyhounds as they get up, foul on the floor.
And some more crucial free throws here. I guess that's kind of what you want here if you're Kentucky Wesleyan. You have now the opportunity to tie this game with no defense.
Uncontested shots at the line.
And we're seeing Ringo setting up to come in, and he will be coming in as well alongside Mitchell, who look like they're going to be getting the defenders in here because they know this will be going down to a last shot.
For Miles at the free throw line, a 72% free throw shooter. He's 2 for 4 on the day.
And not exactly who you want at the free throw line. Obviously, a 72% free throw shooter. That's part of the reason why they put in Ringo for that opportunity to get the rebound against Ingram. Ringo has been winning that matchup so far as Heady will be calling a timeout to figure out what's going to be happening next.
It's like icing the kicker. You're going to ice the free throw shooter here. What do you think of that strategy from Heady?
I like it. I mean, if I'm as someone who has kind of sucks at free throws, I'll admit it. Hearing people and knowing that your free throw actually matters and having to be iced, I mean, that sucks. And just that pressure, it's going to get to him, especially as a 72% free throw shooter.
And for a shooter, in this case, Kennedy Miles, This is your 5th year of college basketball. You've played here at Kentucky Wesleyan and Lawson State Community College. Look, stakes get high. You just start your season. You have a chance to get your team rolling. Send your team off the season with a huge non-conference win and the Greyhounds. But this is just to tie it.
And Greyhounds still do have one timeout left, so even if he does make both of these free throws, the Greyhounds will have a chance to either win it or they're going to overtime. So we'll see here. Ringo is going to be in an interesting matchup here. I want you guys to make sure you're focusing on that matchup down there between him and Ingram, because if one of these free throws is missed, you already know Ringo will be fighting for that ball.
That one good.
And the first one of 2 is good, but this one is just as important.
To tie. Yep. Checking in, Logan McIntyre of Kentucky Wesleyan. And now the Greyhounds. Not going to use the timeout just yet. 10 seconds to play. Zach Jewell and his 5th year. Handoff. It's with Thomas. Thomas got there. He missed it.
And I thought that hit off a Kentucky Wesleyan player. Heady not happy either. Could be considering going to the replay here. Looks like they're already setting up the replays over there, if you can see that over there.
You have to, because you need each and every 10th of a second you can get on that clock. A great view right there, currently at .1. And what's the minimum amount of time to get a reasonable shot off, you think?
I mean, I know in the NBA, I cannot remember what the rule is named after, but it is literally 0.3 seconds. They have made it to where it is physically impossible to take an actual jump shot with with less than 0.3 seconds. So unless they intend on lobbing it and getting a tip in, this is probably going overtime.
Well, looks like the clock's going to stick at .1. You get it in, and we're playing for overtime. And Indianapolis, 84-84, a war when we come back to Nickerson Hall to wrap it up.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Here we are, where it matters most. We're going into overtime, some free basketball, but the Greyhounds going to be short-handed. Kahn and Diskin have both fouled out, and Evan Porterfield has more on the sideline.
I don't know about you, but I'm on the edge of my toes. Like, this is exciting. It's a very, very close game. We've got back and forth. This is a very even matchup, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know who's going to win. I really don't. Back to you guys.
Well, that's the question, right? Who's going to win? It's hard to say because neither team has had the upper hand on the scoreboard. What I can show you, Kentucky Wesleyan has 10 more rebounds total than Indianapolis. And as we look at the offensive rebounding total, it sits just about even. So it's going to come down to just 1 point. I feel like that's what it is, and that's what we're seeing. 5 minutes up on the scoreboard. That's what we'll have for overtime.
And, yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's going to come down to that. I think it'll come down 1-2 points, but it's going to come down to the schemes of the coaches. I personally was not a fan of that last drive. I believe that they should have called a timeout to actually discuss a play. To me, just having the one-on-one to save from going to overtime was not my ideal plan, especially with one timeout left.
Dylan Ingram will stand across from the big man of Kentucky Wesleyan. That's Terrence Ringo Jr. as we're set to go. Overtime in Indianapolis. Heady Miles. Jones Jr. now back with Tolles. And the Panthers working through their options. He slid. That's a travel. He drug that back toe.
Absolutely dragging that back toe here. 15 seconds off the clock coming into overtime. This is going to be a really close one here as we are looking at two teams that have been on fire offensively.
Whitaker, full head of steam to the hoop. Not that time. As ripping it down is Jones Jr. McIntyre tapped away. Great defense there from Pierce Thomas, who I think has had a very underrated game defensively today.
I was just about to say that. Pierce Thomas here has really surprised me here. He started off the game kind of quietly. He went on that little streak where he was hitting three-pointer after three-pointer. He has been the definition of a good 3-and-D wing.
He has 2 steals to account for that as well, plus 11 points. Ringo Jr. picked up his dribble. 6 seconds to shoot. Got to get it away. A lob and a soft touch.
That was beautiful. That was gorgeous. That right there was a beautiful lob, and even more, like you said, just a soft finish. I thought he was going to come yam it down, but he just, boop.
It's with Jackson. He's on an island. He's going to take his defender all the way to the basket and draw the foul.
That's one way to do it. That's just run into the paint and hope you get fouled or hope it goes in. I mean, I complain about that a lot, but, hey, if it produces results, I'll allow it.
Jackson definitely relying on his physicality heading in to the paint that time. He'll set himself up on the line, whereas a free throw shooter, pretty solid, about 75% for the 6'3" guard.
Yeah, and 75%, I mean, those are numbers that you can take. You can live with that. 3 out of your 4 free throws. They're really hoping that he can make 2 out of his 2 this time.
So much anticipation being built up. And noticeably, it hasn't been a game of runs like a usual basketball game. I feel like typically teams are going to go on those 6 through 12-point runs, and we just haven't seen that today.
I feel like these teams get cold at the same times and they get hot at the same times. We've very rarely seen one team look clearly better than the other, except for the beginning of the game.
It's Gray. Left-handed step back. Oh, wow.
That right there, silky smooth right there. Absolutely beautiful midi by Gray.
Jewell crosses over, gets inside, pump fake, but the second defender was there.
And Ringo, I feel like he's just got to be really annoying to play against as a guard. I mean, I feel like he is just everywhere at all times. You can never really get rid of him, and he has done a fantastic job at being there on the block. That was his 4th block this game.
And Ringo, somewhat undersized, just about 6'6", 215, but his physicality more than makes up for it.
Yeah, I can assure you he does not look or play undersized.
Here he is defending here. Jewell keeping his feet down. Dylan Ingram having it right wing. Jewell, he'll spot up. And a solid board brought down by Kentucky Wesleyan. Now under 3 minutes to play as Edwards Jones Jr. controls it, sending on the flying eye. We're back in Miles. McIntyre, 8 seconds to shoot. And a foul called on Ringo down low. Him and Dylan Ingram got caught up.
And looking back at Ringo, he really reminds me of that normal, scrappy, undersized center. I mean, if we're talking about NBA comparison, like Montrezl Harrell, Kenneth Faried, those players they're always normally undersized, but good Lord, are they going to give you a hard time. You could be 7'3" out there, but you're still going to struggle to score on these scrappier and more aggressive players.
Jackson, cross back, looks good, it's good! And
an absolutely beautiful shot by Jackson there. He has done that on multiple occasions. He loves that little James Harden just push himself to the ground after taking a three. He gets the call on that one, and at the perfect time here with 2:24 left in overtime.
The setback's been there for him today. One of the most efficient shooters on the floor. And as you've been saying, Charles has never met a shot that he hasn't liked. He surpassed 20 tonight.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson at 23 right now with a chance to go for 24. He has been doing a fantastic job at making a name for himself here. Like we said, coming into this game, he averaged 2 points in D1 basketball. Right now, he has 24 in his first game for the Greyhounds.
How about a 4-point play? Not this time.
23. I jinxed it. That's on me. My fault.
2 minutes and some change. Miles being harassed in the far corner. Pass to McIntyre. A fadeaway three is off. Whitaker corrals it down.
And Coach Heady telling his team to calm down a little bit.
Jewell, he'll back out and run the point. Whitaker around the screen. Dylan Ingram in the short corner is back to the basket. He's looking for a fall-away jumper, and that time can't get the roll. It's all 88. Minute 35. And a slow offense, this time from Drew Cooper and his Panthers. Alex Gray, he'll fire from deep, not there, and we're seeing Kentucky Wesleyan, a lot of triples and overtime, and their percentage has gone down to about 36% from downtown.
It does feel like they're starting to settle a little bit more and not go through their options.
Jewell to the hoop, and a lefty layup.
Jewell doing what he does best, scoring at important times to put the Greyhounds up by 2 with just 55 seconds left in the game.
Jones Jr., he's working on Dylan Ingram, physical. He got Ingram in the air.
And you cannot do that if you're Ingram. You cannot jump on that pump fake there because there was no good scenario there. Whenever you jump in the air, they always say there are 3 different possibilities and 2 of them are bad. You're either going to foul, you're going to get sent in the air, or you're going to get a block. And one of those 2 things happened there.
Man, Jones Jr. had Dylan Ingram exactly where he wanted him. You see so many players practicing that one-on-one game in the post, and hey, the up and under, as sweet, as soft as ever. We'll take a quick break and be back for the ending of overtime. Here we go. This could be it. 45 seconds, all that remains. We've already played 45 minutes.
That we have. This has been a long game, but I don't think we're complaining. What a better way to spend your Friday night than here watching some great UIndy basketball. I could not be happier. Basketball is so back.
So back. It seems like it's better than ever. Scott Heady in his Greyhound debut has a chance to win against a very, very solid Kentucky Wesleyan team. And these are 2 teams that are going to keep track of each other. If they have postseason aspirations, they'll keep track of each other throughout the season. And to have this head-to-head, especially when it comes down to Midwest regional rankings towards the end of the season, these non-conference games, is huge. You want to find yourself in the AP poll, have to win these types of games. Dylan Ingram to the basket. He'll score.
And Dylan Ingram there, a hard screen running into the brick wall and doing a great job at finishing that easy layup.
Zach Jewell. He's on defense hounding Mitchell right now. Now Jackson's going to wall up. Whitaker on defense. And McIntyre's looking to get it away. It's with Miles. Miles lost it.
And great defense there from Jackson. We've been talking about it all game, about how Jackson has been leading this team with the scoring and doing a fantastic job right there to force a turnover with 10 seconds left, and that will now be forcing the Panthers to have to foul.
And you have to win on both sides. If you're going to win this ball game, have to win on both sides. Dylan Ingram first offensively, and Jackson on the defensive end getting it done. And the Greyhounds are doing it with two key players having to sit the bench in overtime. 5 fouls for both Kahn and Diskin. But the Greyhounds adapting, surviving, seeing next play, and now they're up by 2.
And that right there is that culture that Scott Heady's going to be bringing to this team. I know that me and you, we both interviewed him. We both got to talk to him whenever he came into the university. And I can tell you from my experience at least, he has been one of my favorite people to hear speak. He's a scrappy coach. He enjoys the game of basketball. He loves what he does, and he can build an absolute roster. And they have been doing a great job so far. They'd run through a wall for this man.
And that's because it's fun to him. It's the same game that he was playing in the driveway when he was in grade school, middle school, high school, when he was coaching high school, and now he's here at the Division II level coaching with some of the best and in the division.
Absolutely. I think I speak for everyone whenever we talk about it here, that this is not a job for most of us. For the people up here as well, I mean, most of us, we were sitting here calling games in our mirror, calling games to ourselves, and now you're seeing these people that were playing in the driveway in these situations, 10 seconds left on the clock. This is what they practiced at home. Now they get to do it for real.
10.2 on the clock. Greyhounds have to get in. They do. They get into Whitaker in the corner. Not where you want to be, but the Greyhounds will get the foul call with 8.9 on the clock. 2 free throws, make it a 2-possession game.
Whitaker is an 85% free throw shooter, and just like you said, not where you want it to be. Not a smart pass in right there, because that right there, that's a dead zone.
That's exactly where you wanted the ball to go for the Panthers.
Absolutely. I mean, and a good job by Whitaker holding on to it, and they did get it to their best free throw shooter here.
And he lives up to that pedestal. Best free throw shooter, the guy you want at the line, as it looks like Coach Cooper is going to do the same thing Scott Heady did just a couple minutes ago, ice the free throw shooter.
And now we're going to get to see what does Cooper have planned, because this is a very different ball game if Whitaker makes a shot. But if he misses it, then what's the play call here? Out of timeouts now. They would have to take it from that rebound.
It's a tough spot to be in. And now we're really starting to see a coach's duel. And I think that's exactly what Scott Heady wanted. I feel like he could bring that to this team. X's and O's, he's up there with anybody. And we're seeing 2 coaches duking it out now.
Absolutely. We're talking that these 2 speak a language that not many speak, as you said, and that's winning. And they have done a fantastic job here at motivating their teams. But like you said, the X's and O's have been perfect. I mean, these 2 are playing a chess match right now. And the Panthers, they're currently at check.
Hounds, they'll break it down. Panthers, they'll break it down. 45 minutes of basketball is under just 8 seconds. Greyhounds up by 3, 93-90 in Indianapolis.
And a lot changes. If Whitaker makes his free throw, this game could be over. But if he misses it, anything can happen here on this final shot. If you're Heady, you have to be preaching to your players as well. If he makes his free throw, you do not foul. That is the last thing that you can allow to happen.
So we sit, we wait. Whitaker at the line. Perfect. 4-point advantage for the Hounds. And as you said, Charles, don't foul.
Don't foul.
That's on the clipboard right now. Miles has it. He'll cross behind his back, taken away by Jackson. 3, 2, he might go up and slam it. Oh! What a way to end it! Welcome to the Scott Heady era of Greyhound basketball.
It quite literally does not get better than that. I am so excited for this team right now, and that right there just put a smile on my face.
Beautiful.
What a game from the Greyhounds, and what a way to finish it out.
The exclamation points mark the final score, 96-90. But really, we both know this was no more than a 1-possession game. What a contest. What a ball game. What a finish. What an ending. And what a play we saw there at the end.
And as we look down, it looks like Evan has an interview with Scott Heady.
Yeah, Coach Heady did everything he could and then some. We'll go talk to him.
I'm joined here by UIndy's head coach. Coach, I have a question for you. Starting off your season, great game, by the way. What are you bringing in from Marion that you're bringing in here to make your team great?
Really nothing, other than experience. That's it, as far as for me as a coach. It's all about players. So, we got a new year, new group of guys. I'm really proud of our guys tonight. That was a team that was very experienced. Was in a national tournament last year. We're coming in with 10 new guys and an entire new staff. So, for a first night to get that win, I think that's big for our guys. And it's just one win, it's one game. We'll build on it. It's early, but it's a good win for us.
Yeah. You got players like Dylan Ingram and Zach Struhl, who are already part of this conference, been part of this conference. How are you utilizing them to make this Greyhound team a little bit better?
Well, we want them to be leaders. I mean, they both were, they've been college players for 4 or 5 years. They've got a lot of experience. They were both at great freshmen. They were both freshmen of the year in their leagues. So we need them to provide leadership, and we need them to produce. And I thought they made big plays tonight.
Thank you very much, Coach. Great game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Evan. Great to hear from the newest head coach of the Greyhounds, Scott Heady, everybody. What a debut for him. What a win for the Greyhounds. 96-90, that final score. As we look back at the box score, we'll start with Kentucky Wesleyan. They spread scoring across the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double-figure scores on the day. The leading of them all was Miles with 15, McIntyre at 14, 12 for Tolles, Ringo, Gray, who you had 13, Mitchell had 3. We'll move to Indianapolis. We're leading the charge. Deshaun Jackson in his opening contest as a Hound, 23 points, 8 for 13 shooting, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 rebounds. What a game for him. Whitaker with 20, Diskin with 10, Thomas with 13, Ingram with 9, Jewell with 6, Kahn with 8, and wow, that all combines to the 96-90 score. Final thoughts on this one, Charles?
I mean, yeah, that right there is Greyhound basketball. That is what we've come to expect from these Greyhounds team, and I think that Heady has done a really good job at stepping up in that mantle for Carsaro. I thought it was really big shoes to fill. I did not know if he had it in him, and to me, at least in this first game, I think he's going to be just fine.
So much to look forward to for the Greyhounds, namely, who are you looking forward to watch play this season, and where do you think the Greyhounds can really succeed?
I'm really excited to see, I know we've talked about him a lot, but Deshaun Jackson. I mean, the man, like we said, came in with 2 points a game. He's bringing experience that not a lot of players at the D2 level have of playing at the D1 level. And then he came in, he led this team not only in scoring, but then also with that clutch defensive stop with 10 seconds left in overtime. I mean, that right there is a team leader you can get behind. So I'm really excited to see that, and I'm also excited to see the redshirt freshman, Kelvin Amako, who has been doing a great job at, he's the youngin', he's the young guy, but he's going to be a key piece in this team this year.
Well, a lot to look forward to for Greyhound fans. With that, I want to say thank you to you, Charles. Thank you to Mac Whistle next to me, Addison Mosley, Carter Sloan, Evan Porterfield, Liam Blaze, all up here, and Andile Becker behind the camera. Big thanks to everybody on UIndy TV. For all of them, my name is Caden Colford saying God bless, good night, Roll House from Dixon Hall.